welcome back to my gaming channel. I am so excited for this video. This is probably my favorite video I've ever done. I know I said that about Daisy's salon, but this is probably my favorite. I think this really made me feel like I outdid myself. I did use some Pinterest inspiration photos, and I will leave that down below. I have a Pinterest board called Disney Dreamlight Valley Inspo, so if you want to see where I get some inspo for my builds, that will be in the description box. I'm using the Haunted Mansion because I have yet to use this, and it is the perfect building for this aesthetic. I had never had a reason to use this until this build. So I'm starting with the white brick, and I'm going to make a nice path, and then I use the cherry blossom trees as well as some of the foliage rectangles with the pink florals in front of the house. I'm layering the Disney Park entrance buildings to make this really nice community kind of style, and then I'm going to use the new Alice in Wonderland hedges to create this beautiful courtyard. Feel free to slow the video down if you need to. For the inside of our little entrance / courtyard, I am using the trellis from the Hercules collection, and then I'm using all the Hercules collection items, the fountains, the statues, and the Beauty and the Beast fountain as well. I'm also going to use the glass looking, I forgot what it's called. It's like a gazebo, the glass gazebo, as an entrance to our entire build. For inside of our courtyard area, I'm adding some of the pearly benches, some of the hydrangea bundles, as well as some other little goodies. For the entrance, I decided to add even more foliage, like the small hedges. Around the house, I'm going to use the little trellises to really give that viney look, since we don't have many floral viney items in the game. Now I'm going to add some brick. If you look at the inspo photos, there's a lot of brick for the entrances of a lot of the houses in Bridgerton. And then for the entrance, I'm going to layer a lot of items. So I'm using hedges, I'm using more statues, more foliage, trellises, and I'm really layering to get that super over the top white, pink, blue, Regency era aesthetic. A lot of white, a lot of pink and blue and whites, like I said. So I'm adding the white brick, and I'm extending that in front of the house to create little areas. Since we have the meadow little ponds, we can't really decorate those except for the swan boats and some of the lily pads. So I'm doing my best to make it look as even as possible. For the inside of the house areas, I'm using the white pillars to add little focal points. And then on either side to add symmetry, I'm using the white Cinderella pianos. And then I'm using the founder statue as a water detail because you can add water tiles underneath it. For detailing, I'm going in with the white marble vases in all the little areas that they fit. And these look so pretty in this era of the build. For the entrance and exits of all of the areas around the meadow, the glade, the plaza, and this build, I'm using the Hercules floral arches. I always want to call them trellises. I'm also going to add one of the Hercules fountains in the middle there of our path. And then I also decided to add more of them around the build wherever I found little areas of space. Next, I'm adding some of the swan little trees. I mean, not swan, swamp trees, as well as the big plaza trees on either end of our buildings. And then I'm just going to make adjustments to make everything fit nicely. In between these hedges and our brick, there was some space, and the little floral rectangles fit perfectly there. Since I had extra, I decided to really fill out the entrance space with more florals, as well as the Cinderella little carriages, the floral carriages, planters, since there was enough space for those, and I thought it looked so pretty. The blue just really matches that Regency era aesthetic. Once I was happy with that, I realized that the plaza trees, the smaller ones, fit perfectly into the nooks of the Disney Park building. If you pay attention, you can see I'm moving the pillar and I'm adding those little trees. It fits perfectly right into that little groove on the building. So I went in all those spaces and added the plaza trees there. Next, I'm adding the Hercules floral arches to every single entryway of these buildings. This just really adds that extra Bridgerton aesthetic. And then I also did it on the other side that is facing the plaza so that you could see that aesthetic in through the entire build. Now we're going to add some of these Beauty and the Beast water pumps in front, and that is just going to give us that look that their grass and all their florals are being watered. I also wanted to add some of the white harps. And I also added one of the beautiful Cinderella lighting lantern trellises, I think. I don't remember what this is called, but you know what I'm talking about. I added that on the inside of the build. Again, layering here is so important for that Regency era look to really add that floral, viney, super florally garden-like aesthetic. Now I'm adding a bunch of the water tiles underneath all of the Hercules statues, underneath all of the fountains and the founder statue, which I love that you can layer these under anything, almost anything, and you can turn anything into a workable fountain. It looks so, so pretty. And then I'm going to add books in different areas because I think it really matches the Regency era. And it also brings people into the build. So it brings the characters into the build. As you know, every time I build, it's like my signature to add books everywhere. Now I'm going to extend the pathing in the front and add tulips. I think that looks really, really cute. Once I was done with that, I realized I wanted the brick to go around, and I think it looks a lot more finished. I also added some foliage around the edges. You could do the same pink florals. I just went in with what I had, which was the yellow, and I thought the yellow looked pretty on the outsides. Once I was happy with that, I went back into the inner part of our courtyard build and added more Hercules statues. And then I also did a little bit of a build from the plaza stairs going into our Bridgerton build. That way the aesthetic really flows. And what I did for the outside was add a trellis as well as some of the Hercules statues instead of the plaza trees. I really like how this looks on the outside. That way anywhere you're looking at the build, you can see the aesthetic. I also went in with some rock pathing just to give us a beautiful little path from the glade into our courtyard. And this is the final look. I am obsessed with how it came out. It feels so just perfect for this era, the Regency era, and I am so excited to let you guys know that I also built the entire Haunted Mansion inside to be Bridgerton aesthetic as well. So that build will be coming tomorrow or the next day, so stay tuned, put notifications on, leave a comment here and tell me what your favorite part of this build was. I am so obsessed with it, guys. I was gonna tear it down when I was done, but I'm actually super, super happy with this. I also made a little tea set area in front of the courtyard with the blue chairs, so that was a nice little added touch there for a little extra seating nook for just hang out in the garden. And I love how it turned out. I added a bunch of the pink hydrangeas and cherry blossom trees. The swan boats here look so pretty. It's just the perfect spot because there really isn't anywhere else to build this area out. We don't have many areas that are this big, and so it just so happens that my meadow was empty. I just tore down my meadow recently and I didn't have anything on this side of my meadow, whereas my other side is fully built out and I love the build on the other side. So I was like, you know what, this is perfect here. I love this build so much. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments what your favorite part is. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Happy gaming.